Collin, so after a tough loss to Michigan State, obviously it's a big thing coming into tonight. Can you kind of talk about where the whole team as a whole was at the end of the game, like mentally and just the flow of the offense?
Yeah, I actually think that our bounce. I mean, there's nothing we could do about the Michigan State game. And I felt like our emotions and our response to that was actually really good as a team. Our response was less like getting down on each other and more, let's just get better. And so that's what we've been focusing on every day since then.
And there's been a lot of talks like outside. I don't know what you guys have heard, but like kind of hearing that from the fan base this early on, is there anything that you guys like mentally talk about with each other about like, moving forward from something like that?
I don't know too much about what's going on. I've heard a little bit. I don't know if I've heard anything that's true, to be honest. So I think sometimes it's just kind of we get to giggle at each other at what some people are coming up with. So.
With all the injuries and kind of the moving parts, how do you stay adjusted to just doing your job and doing it with different guys in and out of the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, it's we talk a lot about responding to things, and again, it's another thing we have to respond to. Injuries today, there's a lot of different lineups that we hadn't played with yet, and I think we responded well to those, and taking it as an opportunity rather than seeing it as a challenge, taking it as an opportunity to explore new things and work together, have new connections that we're continuing to form.
Collin, can you kind of speak on Otega Oweh tonight getting his first start and how that went down?
Yeah, well, I mean, Malachi has been great since he stepped on campus. He's just been getting better every day since he's stepped on campus, and I love playing with BG and Malachi. They both have different things that they're extremely good at, and so playing to those strengths is really fun. And tonight Malachi played great, but also BG played great as well. BG was a dog getting rebounds, and that's what we need out of him to win.
Collin, you guys had a 30-point advantage in the fast break. What were you seeing specifically in transition?
Yeah, well, that's just when we kept huddling up, and that was pretty much the thing, at least I was noticing and kept saying, is let's just get out and run. We don't need to worry about our offense. We don't need to run plays. Let's get out and run, because that's what was working for us.
I'm sure you've been asked this, but can you talk a little bit about the threes in the first half, especially what it does for your confidence after you hit the first one or the second one?
Yeah, I just think it brings definitely energy to me, but also to everyone else. And I think it helps to space the floor when I can get it going early. Because when I get a few, you can hear the coaches get upset at their players, so they start cheating out towards me, and it opens up the lane. And that goes for all the guys, Trent, Noah, Kam, when we're shooting well, it just expands the floor.
It helped Otega absolutely early on. It hasn't been the easiest start to the season for him. What did you see from him tonight? How big can it be for his confidence, to your point, to have a game like this?
Yeah, well, I need O. He made some big time plays. Getting into the lane and being super patient. He made a big time play. There was one play where he drove baseline and got his 2 feet and then rifled one to me in the corner. I actually ended up missing it, unfortunately, but I need O. And he needs me. He needs me to space the floor out for him too, because he's the best downhill driver I've ever seen. So I think we're just going to continue to work off each other.
Coach said a few weeks ago, he said, we have to make sure our guys are doing what makes this team special and not what makes individuals special. Then over there with Kam, he said, I may not be getting our threes, but I'm going to do everything else Coach asked me to, because that's what helps the team. How can attitudes like that really help turn this around?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's an opportunity for everyone to step into roles. We're continuing to learn roles. And I think guys are willing to, it's not that guys aren't willing to do their roles, and that's, I don't think, been our issue. It's really been we're learning roles and how we're working together. And, I think tonight was a great step, actually, in learning a lot of roles.
I'm sure you've been asked it already, but Coach inserted Kam and Malachi into the starting lineup. You guys were the top 5 guys in plus minus. He said that spacing that you could bring with them two in was something where he felt really comfortable. Did you guys feel that comfortability, and what did it do for the spacing on the floor?
Yeah, well, Kam is special when he's on the floor because he's just an athlete where he's so tall and long, but also spaces the floor as a shooter. He's arguably one of the best shooters on our team. So he brings a unique team to that. As a defense, I don't know what to tell you to do because he is so long, and he had a play where it would have been like the most ridiculous putback dunk I've seen in a while. Where it's just hard to combat those things that Kam brings, and so grateful to have him.
What's it do for you as a shooter? What's it do for you as a shooter getting that special?
Yeah, well,
in there tonight.
For sure, it helps to have any shooters on the court. It helps driving downhill and opening up lanes for cuts and stuff like that. But I think it helps our best downhill drivers like O and Zell are great downhill drivers. It helps open up the floor for them and also give them great options when people end up taking them.
Collin, Coach talked about you all being more decisive tonight and getting a lot more free-flowing offense. Did you feel like that was easier tonight for you all than it has been, and did it feel more comfortable getting open looks tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was new, and I think our offense was great tonight. Kam was stepping into a new position. He really hasn't gotten too many reps before, which is playing the three and the floor is completely different in our offense, completely different roles, and I think he did great, and it was fun to have spacing with a guy like that who can just shoot the ball wherever. It was fun to have him out there.
And you talked about a little bit of your first half three-point barrage. Can you talk a little bit more about how it felt getting in the zone, and did it feel like really nice to be able to get a few of those in a row and just see those in the net?
No, for sure. And guys were making plays for me. That was our big thing coming into this game, was making plays for each other, and guys were finding me and making the game easy for me. So hopefully I can do the same for them.
Great start to the year, Collin. You've hit the three ball really well. What can you attribute that success to from taking it from last year to this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that I think contribute to it. I mean, I shoot a lot, but so does every player in D1 basketball, and so I've been getting a lot of great looks from my teammates. They haven't been hard. Spot up shots, I've been getting a ton of them, and also the more I play, the more comfortable I've gotten, the more confident I've gotten. Those two things are huge for success offensively, is being comfortable and confident.
You talked last week a little bit about when you came back from the mission trip. Your shot was a little different, felt a little different. Can you just kind of elaborate more on that, like how it felt, especially once you got in the rhythm, maybe toward the end of the season?
Yeah, there was a lot of things. My shot, I actually worked a lot on my shot with Coach Fox. He did a lot to I guess, make me more consistent from the three. But in the games, it's just a different pace, a different adrenaline. So that comfort is huge. And it took me longer than I would have liked last season. But as soon as I got it going and understood what I needed to do, how to control those things that were new when I was on the court, I was able to shoot the ball better, and it's been great since. I'm continuing to get more comfortable.
Was that more adjusting to the speed flow of the game, or is that even like mechanics?
Speed, flow. I hadn't shot with a defender closing out at me for 2 years. Adrenaline, crowd. I mean, there's so many different things that play into performing on the court that takes a little bit of getting used to.
What was different from Otega tonight?
I mean, well, I was saying earlier, he had a bunch of great plays where teams have kind of been like, their game plan has been, if O gets the ball, when he gets in paint, everyone turn around, who cares who you're guarding, go to Otega, right? And they did a little bit of that today, but he was so good at getting to the paint and finding guys, which I think once we started hitting threes, opened it up for him. And I mean, even at the beginning of the game, there's only so much you can do to stop a guy like Otega getting to the hoop. You can try as much as you want, and I think once we start spacing the floor, hitting shots, it helps him a lot.
Coach Pope talks about how he's not good at losing. He comes in, he's in a bad mood. How quickly do you guys see that put that behind him, I guess, after a loss?
Yeah, well, he's like all of us. He's a competitor. He loves the game as well, and I would say as bad as he is at losing, he's also great at learning from those things and helping us learn and take the positive route of we're going to do a little bit better, because there's nothing we can really do about any of the losses that happen. So we're just going to get better.
Are there any voices maybe that were a little bit louder in the locker room coming, not Tuesday night, but between Tuesday night and maybe stepping up more in a leadership role or more vocal role?
I don't know. I can't give specific examples, but what I can say is our response as a team was great in wanting to just keep playing, wanting to just get back to it. I don't feel like we've had much bad responses to the loss. We're just trying to get better, and I think everybody's on the same page there, and we're continuing to learn each other. So,
do you think, especially with Jalen out, do you think there needs to be a primary leader or a loud voice, I guess, on the court?
I think there needs to be a lot of loud voices on the court because everybody sees the game differently, and one guy can't see everything that's going on. So when we huddle, everybody's talking about what they're seeing, so we can all come together and figure it out together, and that's been super important for our team and something we practice at practice. And ever since we stepped on campus, we practice talking to each other. We practice expressing what we're seeing and talking it out. And so I think a collective voice is just as important as one.
Is this team maybe a little bit differently than last year's team in that regard? And that, like, Lamont wasn't the loudest guy, but he had a lot of experience. Andrew had a lot of Kobe down the line.
For sure. There's a lot of experience, but I would say it might be something our coaches are encouraging, but it was similar in we had to practice everybody talking because we didn't have too many loud guys last year. I would say more quiet guys, and it was a learning process as well. It's, I think, similar to this year actually, and we're learning to talk and lead as a collective.
Here after Tuesday night and get in a game situation.
Super eager. You know, every time after a loss, you know, you just want to be ready to go onto the court the next day. You know, especially when you know you could have played better as a team, stuff like that.
You had first 5 minutes, first few possessions, strong cut, strong drive, a couple steals, rebounds. Just how personally did you take Tuesday night and what happened?
I mean, I took it super personal. Definitely, you know, it wasn't the way we wanted things to go. So, you know, every time we get to play, that's a new opportunity. You know, to change the script. So that's all it was, really, just trying to play, flip the switch.
Who in these last 3 days were there any primary voices kind of stepping up, taking charge inside the locker room, other than the coaching staff from a player perspective?
Not everybody. Everybody's been super vocal since the game ended. Everyone's been locked in. You know, I would say J. Lo he's been vocal. I mean, this whole time he's been in and out, but I mean, everyone's really took it upon themselves to make sure that we do our part in leading.
What do you feel like Kam and Reno brought to this thing?
Shoot, Kam brought a bunch of rebounds, intensity. He was guarding, aggressive on offense too. So, you know, that's something that we need at all spots. You know, just everyone being aggressive. And the same with Malachi. He was a good rim protector. Just that physical, you know, paint presence that we need, and you know, he provided that.
How do you all tune out all the outside noise after a loss like that?
I mean, it's gonna happen. There's gonna be outside noise if we win, outside noise if we lose. So we just gotta not let it bother us. Obviously, we're in a position where everything we do is there's a comment on everything we do. So we just can't worry about it. Like I said, if we win or lose, it's always gonna be people talking. So just gotta bounce back.
Can that bring you together even more than maybe you were before, going through something like that?
Yeah, I feel like adversity always bring teams together. You know, just because, you know, when things are going well, it's easy to be happy, easy to be joyful. But, you know, when shit hit the fan, you know, you have to turn it to your brothers and, you know, really lean in.
Coach Pope talked a few weeks ago. He said, I've really been stressing to these guys, we have to do what makes the team special, not just individuals.
Yeah.
And then over there, Cam said, I'm not hitting my threes, but I'm going to do everything else Coach asked me to do, and that's how I'm going to find my way on the floor. What kind of attitude like that, what can that do for y'all's team, especially right now when times maybe haven't been the best?
Yeah, that's a huge attitude that I feel like everyone on our team has to, acquire. We're a young team, so that may be hard to understand at first, but I feel like we're starting to understand it. Just playing for each other. If you're not being effective in one way, you got to find another way to be effective because you're going to be on the court, so you got to do something. So that's definitely a mindset that we all got to take. Even if we're shooting the ball bad, shooting the ball good, we still have to be effective both sides of the ball.
In what ways was Coach Pope maybe tougher on you guys after Michigan State in the practices since then?
Just focusing on the stuff that we didn't do well. Not leaving the drill until we get it done perfectly. Stuff like that. But on top of that, he stayed the same. I feel like that's the best thing he could do. You don't want to overreact 5 games into the season. So he did a good job of, staying who he is, not trying to get out of character. But, he definitely did, lock in on certain things that we didn't do well. And, just make sure that we keep on repping it out until it's really comfortable.
Did it feel at all heavy? Like, were y'all going in there with a sense of...
After the game?
Well, in the practices after the game, yeah.
Nah, it was more heavy just right after the game, I'd say. Once we got back into Lexington and obviously we went back to our routine and stuff like that. We watched our film, we practiced, but it wasn't heavy, I know we all just itching for that next big game, to go out there and improve and do better, but we just gotta be where our feet are, but it wasn't heavy.
What do you see your role personally as a leader on this team as?
I just gotta be that consistent piece. I'm gonna go out there and play hard, bring good effort, have a high motor, and I feel like everything else will fall into place. But I'm trying to bring that consistency in terms of my game, both sides of the ball.
Do you have to step up any more vocally, or do you feel like you're doing that already?
Nah, there's always room for improvement. I definitely think I could be more vocal on the court because I'm such a lead by example kind of guy that I tend to get quiet sometimes, but I'm trying to get out of that and be more vocal.
There was a play, you guys were about 22, 25. BG threw an outlet pass out of bounds, I think, to go into a TV timeout.
Yeah.
And it looked like from where we were, you kind of got on him. Just kind of what was that? And is that just kind of like you gotta stay with it? You gotta, no matter what the score is?
Yeah, nah, it don't matter who we playing. If we playing 5th graders or the best team in the country, I feel like I just told him that was a play that we got to capitalize on. I was open, the NDA was open, so I just told him bro, we got to capitalize on that play. I know we up 20 plus, but all those possessions matter. And he knew it too in the moment that he had a simple play to make. Collin on the other side too, so he could have hit Collin, and Collin could have kicked it up. But those are plays that BG can make. So it was just more of me telling him if you're gonna do it, you gotta complete the play.
Is that the type of thing, especially with Jalen out, that the 5 guys on the court need to kind of step up for each other in those situations?
Definitely, we all gotta be playmakers. J-Lo's our best playmaker by far. So with him out, we all have to do our part in making plays for teammates. Obviously, we can make plays for ourselves, but we got to make plays we got to make the game easier for everybody.
I mean, the vocal part of what you did.
Oh, yeah. Even with J-Lo out, he's still talking, he's still being super vocal, so we're not missing that piece, but definitely everyone got to step up and, hold each other accountable.
Pope called himself a terrible loser today and said that he gets pissy and he hits rock bottom. How do you as a player respond to kind of his emotions after a loss like that?
What, him being down?
When he's down, do you pick him up? Do you get down with him? How do you grieve as he's grieving?
Well, with Coach Pope, I feel like he's really only in that mood right after the game. He does a good job of flushing it quick. Although maybe he may not have flushed it, but at least once he gets around us, he's always talking about the next thing that we could do to get better and how we need to respond. That's the biggest thing he always says. So I mean, even us as players, we hate losing. So I mean, we feel the same emotions that he's feeling. But I mean, he does a really good job of turning it and just uplifting us. Like, obviously, you know, we wanted the game to go a certain way, and we didn't do that. Like, we suck. Like, he'll say stuff like that. We suck, but that means we could always improve. So.
What is he doing? Is he yelling at you immediately afterwards, or how is he reacting?
I mean, it's a whole coaching staff, so it's not only just him talking. He could get there, but I mean, the other coaching staffs could get there too. So it's more of a staff effort, I'd say. It's not just him.
He talked to us tonight and said that I believe if we want to be great, Kam has to be great.
Thanks.
Kind of a step towards that tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what he was doing was crazy. I think he's probably second best defender we got in terms of like his athletic ability. And then once you start hitting shots, like, it's just gonna be a matchup nightmare because he's at the 4th spot right now. So I feel like for him, for like the whole offense to really go the way it's supposed to go and mesh and gel, I feel like he's gonna be a big piece for that.
What do you think?
We were just talking to Otega. We were just talking to Collin. He said he needs you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like you need each other?
Oh, we all need each other. I mean, in tough games, easy games, like no one could do it by themselves. So we always have to uplift each other, play as a team because, I mean, it's easy to guard just one person if the other team, you know, just focuses on one person and you're playing that way. So, I mean, we all need each other. We all have to play unselfishly, and that's probably what he needs, and that's how I need him to.
Specifically, though, when you're driving to the basket and then you kick it out to him for an open three.
It's green. It's green every time. We say in practice, like, if you get in a scramble or a jam, just try and find Collin. He's going to shoot it, and it's probably good.
He's shooting over like 50% this
It's crazy.
season. Did you expect that from him this year?
Nah, I didn't. I thought, if I'm being honest, I thought Trent was going to shoot around that. But Collin, I mean, I know Collin can shoot. I just didn't know 60%.
Yeah, you need each other, but you also want to hold each other accountable. What more do you want to see out of BG?
Huh?
What more do you want to see out of BG?
Just the physicality on the rebounding side. I would say that's just something that he can improve on. It's all there, you know. It's just, you know, certain times maybe fatigue, you know, may kick in. So, I mean, it's better that, you know, we could get that out of him instead of it being something you got to teach. Like, it's all there. BG's motor is crazy. Like, he probably has one of the best motors I've been around. So that's why I know it's all there. It's just a matter of him doing it. And I mean, he had a career high rebounds today. So, I mean, it's just him like locking in and keying in on doing it every single night that he will.
How about Malachi? What do you want to see out of him?
The same thing. I want to see like him and BG compete on like the rebounding side. Like, I want to see them both get double-digit rebounds every game. I feel like that's something that could be really big for us, you know, in terms of that paint presence. And I mean, today Mally did good. He was rebounding, he was blocking shots. He had like 5 blocks. So that's something that we really need from our bigs.
How much does spacing unlock the best version of Otega?
Oh, it's very key. I mean, I get downhill. That's my game. So when the paint's not packed and, you know, we're making shots, shooting threes, that's the best way. I mean, this offense goes. I feel like that's how they flourished in the past. So we just got to make shots, and then on top of that, you know, even if we're not making shots, we just got to find ways to be effective. We can't just rely all on our shot making. Like, some games are going to be ugly, so we just got to make something work. But
is that the value in having Kam, having Yella, you know, those guys at the 4 next to you?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's going to be important for Kam. You know, he's playing great. You know, once he start hitting the shots and once he start really being aggressive on offensive, and I feel like he's really going to open everything up.
Talk about the importance of it offensively. Did it feel like on the floor it was more free-flowing and you got a lot more open shots tonight as a team and easier to get to the paint?
Yeah, I think we were just being super decisive. Coach Pope said before the game that if you're going to make a play, just be decisive, be 100% that you want to make it. So I think that's all it was. We did make shots too, but I think we were just really aggressive and intentional in what we wanted to do.
Has Denzel surprised you at all how quickly he's just kind of owned the starting point guard position?
Nah, not at all. That's one thing that I knew about Denzel before he even got here. Like, you could plug him in and do whatever with him. Like, you could tell him to go score, you could tell him to go pass or sit, make plays, and he's gonna do it. So I love playing with guys like that where, you know, you could just throw them in anywhere and they're gonna be effective. So it didn't really surprise me, no.
guess it just ended up like this.
Self-styled.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but I had to.
I'm intrigued by your reaction there to, I'm not making my threes right now, it's okay. Easier said than done, right? To like have an attitude like that. How are you handling not having your best season to this point, just a couple games in, from deep especially?
It's really just, kind of preparation, you could say. I'm just not making multiple shots right now. There's multiple people who also aren't making shots around the world. Curry's my favorite player. He doesn't make every three, but he's gonna keep shooting them. So I just got to keep shooting them, and then they're gonna fall. Once they fall, it's just the season's gonna be way better than it is now.
How easy is it, like she said, to, when they're not falling, to just say, hey, I'm going to do all the other things, play defense. You had 3 steals tonight, you had 4 assists, you had 9 rebounds, a breakaway.
Right.
You priding yourself in doing the other things?
Yeah, it's just can't really limit yourself to one thing. If you're not making shots, that doesn't mean you just shut down and not do anything else. I want to play, so anything you tell me to do on the court, I'm going to do it because I want to play as much as I can. So if I'm not making shots, I said it in the last week too, I can play defense, I can rebound, I can pass. We're just taking advantage of every opportunity I can to help my teammates win, and it worked tonight, so just got to keep going.
Coach talked about your offense being more decisive and free-flowing tonight. Did you feel like it was better out there on the court tonight than it was in the past couple of games, and did you feel like more open spacing for the shooters tonight?
Yeah, it was better. Really just making some quick decisions, like you said, not really being stagnant, making the right play, right pass, not really trying to hold the ball, because defense rotates. The quicker you pass, the quicker you have to move, and Otega can get it downhill, Collin can make a shot, DA can get downhill. It just opens the floor up everyone. So.
When we talked to Mark after the game about you, he said a lot of great things about your play. Also said that there's still some development to be done, that they need you to be great, was his words. What does that say to you, about your role in this team and how your coaches value you?
It shows that he has a lot of trust in me. It shows that he really cares for me and my game. He wants me to be the best player I can be. So that's improving in all areas, rebounding, passing, getting downhill, making threes, making layups, dunks, whatever. So it really shows that he cares about his players, and I'm going to keep doing everything I can to get better in every aspect that I can.
Cam, did you call bank on that 3 there before halftime?
I did not. I'm not even going to lie, I did not. I just wanted to make the shot.
Was that the play call for you to get up or get down court quick and try to fire up a shot, or?
Really just catch it and look ahead if I could pass ahead, because we only had 3 seconds. So I only take a couple dribbles, and nobody was there, so I just had to take a dribble, and then I seen it was like 1.5 seconds left or whatever. So I just had to shoot it.
When it left your hand, did you think it was going in? Or?
I knew it was going in as it was like heading down. It was going to hit the glass. I was like, oh yeah, that's in. So I was ready.
When did you hear that you were getting to start, and what did you feel when you heard that?
I heard it yesterday in practice. Feel good that my hard work kind of shows, my effort, energy, stuff like that. But regardless if I start or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just ready to win the game. So if I got to go to the bench again and just get back in the game and provide energy and be the spark that I am, I'm going to keep doing it. So really just doing whatever I can to help the team win.
Do you consider yourself an energy guy, and what does that mean to you?
I feel like I can be that role. I'm trying my best to be that role, actually, you could say. What it means, I'd say just diving on the floor, lose ball, getting a block, getting a steal. Once you make that one play, the whole momentum swings and everyone wants to play hard. So just any play I can do that, I'm going to do that.
That group you started out with tonight seemed to have really good flow to it. Do you feel like you got into a groove with those guys?
Yeah, we practice against each other and with each other every day. So it's not really that difficult to build chemistry like that. And we all know how everyone plays, so it's really just plugging into pieces.
Cam, you can tell the atmosphere in Rupp Arena. People get really excited late in the game. You guys are up big. You put in the walk-ons. Walker gets a couple shots there. I just wanted to ask you first, for the players, is that as exciting for you guys too? Seeing those go up and.
No, it's very exciting. I pray Walker makes one of these threes. The whole building's gonna go crazy. I might dive on the floor like I did for Collin's dunk. So I'm really I'm ready for that to happen, and I need Zach to get a dunk too.
And with that, especially after everything this past week, how good did it feel? You guys have been working really, really hard in practice. I'm sure it's not been the most fun place lately. So how nice was it to go and have some fun out there in basketball?
It feels great. It shows that our confidence is still high. Can't really hang our heads low for like losses, and when things like going our way, we just have to get better. It's a new day. We won the day, but we still got to get ready for next week. We got 2 games next week, so we'll just get back to practice tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and just keep doing what we need to do.
Pope said that you were stubborn today with your drives and that you weren't going to be denied in putting the ball on the floor. I felt like today was the first time all season that you really were a little bit more downhill and tried to get yourself to the rim. Was that a point for you, or was being in the starting lineup give you a little bit more confidence, or can you attribute that to?
That was a point that you could say. Him and Coach Cody, they really say that 4 man's going to be guarding me, so I can rip through and just go downhill if I want to. Make plays for teammates, like I said earlier. So if I get downhill and Collin's in the corner, his man helps, I kick, we get a 3. So really just helping any way I can, and we're going to keep doing that for the rest of the year.
Probably your most complete game so far in a Kentucky uniform. What played into that today?
Really just playing as hard as I could. I wanted to win, so anything I need to do for us to win, I'm going to keep doing it. Rebounding. I tried to get 10, but BG stole 2 of them. Malachi stole 2 of them as well, so I'm going to talk to them later about that.
It looked like the last play, though, the ball came off.
It went over.
Yeah.
See, I didn't think it was going to do that.
That was your double-double, right?
Yeah, so I went kind of forward, and then I realized it was going over, and I was like, that's tough. But just got to do it again next week.
Did Bo give you any words of advice with you kind of taking his spot for this game going into
just saying rebound, because I think he's our leading rebounder. I think him or Malachi, one of those. And he just saying just try to rebound as much as you can. He tried to bet me that I wasn't gonna get 10. I was like, I'm gonna get it, but I lost. So
what was the bet?
Just got to do some sprints. So
How did you guys tune out maybe some of the negative comments and the talk around the team after that Michigan State loss?
Really just we had to build our trust for each other again. We kind of I would say that we fell into the wrong ways during that game. You could say we kind of stopped doing one of our keys, which is make plays for teammates. So we really just had a meeting with the team. It was like, we're not gonna do that again. We're gonna focus on the team and not really anything else. Block out any outside distractions, and we stayed off the media. We always stay off the media, regardless if you win or lose. Just delete social media, so you don't have to worry about that.
It's probably easier said than done, though, right? Like
It's
drown all
really
that
not.
out.
I'll just delete it. It's like, really,
Okay.
really.
Fair.
How different is the noise at Kentucky as opposed to when you were at Tulane?
I mean, it's different. When you score, there's like a lot more people probably cheering, but at the end of the day, it's still basketball. You gotta lock in and realize that you're playing basketball and not worry about that.
I don't mean in the arena. I
What you
mean
mean?
like
Just
on
like
social
them?
media. Like it seems like y'all had a little bit of adversity. Yeah, we're just 5 games in.
Yeah.
This happens somewhere else, it might just be a slow start. But at Kentucky, does it feel different to you?
I mean, you can say that. It's a different place, most prestigious program ever, pretty much. So anything that we do is gonna be under the lights. It's gonna hit social media any chance, but we have to do a good job of realizing that, you can't really feed into that. We just have to stay in ourselves and just keep displaying the hard work that we do every day and just play to the best of our ability.